What's up, guys? It's that time of the week again. Time to show you guys my top picks for the week and what stocks and setups I'm going to be watching going into this trading week. As always, if you find education in these videos and you like what's up, guys? Time for our weekly watch list and the top setups I'm going to be watching going into this trading week. As always, if you find value in these videos or you like free education, make sure you hit that subscribe button and, of course, that bell icon so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. So, as always, we're going to start here with SPY. We are sitting at a really major support level, this weekly trend line here. We tried to fail it once up here. You know, this is kind of where we got the trend line from, right? Came down, barely missed it by a few points, and then wound up making a move back up, right? Now, trend lines are very subjective. You could say we broke it already, right? Or you could say we're at it, depending on where you draw it. Again, you don't want to base your technical analysis just off of trend lines. So ideally, what I'm looking at here is kind of if we could break this like 408.90, 409 level, I think we have plenty of room to the downside. You know, ideally, if we can lose 409, right, that whole number 409, we have a gap to fill on the daily time frame. Down to about 407, I believe. I just got to find that gap. Okay, here it is, right here. Perfect. So let me bring that up. So yeah, I mean, you know, if we can lose like this 409 to 408.80, we have, you know, room into 407. So I'm going to be watching that. Definitely going to be a nice setup for the week, right? We can fill that gap all the way down to this, you know, 407.36, and then we do have support down here again at, you know, 405, 404 area. So I'll be watching that pretty closely as well. I think if we do come down, it'll probably be to that 405.2 area, right? Little touches up here, touches down, etc. So we'll see what happens. But ideally, I'm playing the downside here, right? I want to see us lose this 409. I want to see us fill this gap to the downside and potentially make a move into 405 and, you know, potentially 403, right? And 400. You know, ideally, I would like to see us come back into this like 400, 401 area. I mean, this is a critical area for SPY. It's a whole number. It's a round number. It's a psychological number. So we're going to be watching that. As far as upside is concerned, I'm not really interested in upside until we get over like, you know, 418, in my opinion. I think that would be like the safest route. You know, waiting to get over like this 417, you know, 70 to 418 area, and then making a move up potentially into 420. But I just don't see it happening. The market's been selling off on really aggressive volume. We've seen some buying pressure the past couple days, but ultimately ending the day red, right? Next on our watch list is NVDA. Now, with NVDA, we have this daily head and shoulders, right? So I love watching pattern setup on bigger time frames, but you do have to be aware of the patterns that set up on small time frames too, because they can cause these bigger ones to fail, at least short term. Now, we did break the neckline of this head and shoulders, right? So ideally, if we can lose that whole number, you know, 400, like 400 to 401 area, I think we could definitely see a move down to this 386, very likely. You know, we have a small gap to fill here, right, from 397 to around, you know, 395.15. So I'm going to be watching that. If we lose 400, we could start to fill that gap. And then, you know, under that, we don't really have any support down into this 385 region. So I'll be watching that as well. And then as far as upside, if we can reclaim this neckline or see something set up like we did last week where we had a bullish wedge to the downside, which caused this massive move to the upside, I really won't be interested in upside until we can get back over this like 410, 411 area. This is a really aggressive mover, right? But if we can hold above 411, I think we have plenty of room into this 422 area. Again, I mean, you know, 420 to 422, right? Pretty easy there. So we're going to watch downside, right? Big daily pattern. Obviously, as long as nothing sets up bullish on the hourly, I think we should be good to lose this 400 and come down to that 394 and potentially 385. Now, next one, Tesla. We are at a big support level for Tesla, right? You could it's clear cut, clear as day right here, right? This is a big level. This kind of like 207. Now, we've been busting through it the past couple days. So ideally, I want to see us make a move down into, you know, essentially 202, right? Like that prior week low. If we can lose that, we can see 200, and then under 200, we can definitely see some downside. I mean, under 200, we have room into 190. So I'll be watching that for downside. Now, if we can hold above 207, right, and we have a nice inside candle for the last day, I want to see us get above 215 for me to say I want to go long. In my opinion, like 214 to 215, I'll go long up into this 220 region, essentially, right? Now, as always, you know, I don't want to have a bias here, but the market's not looking super strong right now, and we have a nice kind of like double top or triple top, I guess you could say here, with a really, really strong gap down after earnings, and we've kind of just been selling off since then. We had, you know, this kind of small bounce here, right, on the daily time frame, but ideally if we could lose these lows at 201.50 and like this 200 area, we could easily see that 190. But if we can reclaim, you know, this kind of like 220 area and hold above, we can make a move into 230. And then if we can get above 230, we can potentially start to fill the gap to the upside. I mean, that would be a pretty sweet play if we can see that come up, but very unlikely. So that's my top setups for the week. And, you know, of course, Meta here seems relatively strong, right? We did bounce here. You know, last week, but ideally we bounced and we failed that trend line, right? So I think if we could see some continuation, right? Obviously, the only level for me I'm going to be watching on Meta here is like 298 to 300, right? If we can get over 300, I could certainly see myself going long into this 304, 305 region. And then if we fail 300, you know, we come up, or maybe we don't come up, right? We're already starting to fail this trend line. Maybe we continue to push down. Ideally under like 290, we can easily see, you know, 290 to 293, right? I think honestly under 292 we should be okay though. Under 292 we can easily see 286, and then these prior week lows over here at 278. So we'll see what happens, right? And then under that, we have room into 274. Again, you know, bias levels here above 300. We're good to 304 and 307. And then, you know, below 290, really, we have a lot of room down. So that's my weekly watch list. As always, if you guys find value in these videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button and comment below what you guys want me to chart next. I'll see you guys on the next one.